Hi friends. Let's see where this goes. Been playing with the lighting again, hope you won't mind. Just having fun. I have two of the best videos to share with you on this one. Someone sent me a video of Eva Cassidy. Where are you going, Moonlight? And I hadn't heard of her. And I've been immersed in her for the last little while, in her sound, in her music, in her energy. And so, one of them is a news clip. Eva's not with us anymore in form. That doesn't mean she's not with us, but anyway. I love her energy and her message and her variability, her strength and stubbornness to walk her own walk, sing her own songs, and not be pigeonholed into one style or another. Instead, her style was heart. Very much like me, she couldn't sing a song or say a prayer, probably, if it didn't resonate. It just wasn't happening. I love that. And the other one is a previous interview of Dr. Jacob Liberman with Lulu. Some had troubles playing the other one, and just for future reference, at the bottom of your screen there's a little thing that looks like a gear, and when you click on it, it gives you options for the resolution. If you just want it to load and play, and you don't care so much for the quality of the picture, you choose 240, the lowest one. And they can go up, depending on how they're recorded, all the way up to 1080, which is HD, high def. So the previous video of Dr. Liberman, the player often comes up with it on 360, and for whatever reason, it won't play there. So you have to click the little gear and pick something else, 240, 480, and it will play. But for those who don't want to mess with such things, here's another of his interviews. Now this is the guy who wrote the book that I recommended not too long ago. Something about how to see without your glasses, see better without your glasses. And it's not just eye vision. He's talking about insight as well as sight. He's talking on a much deeper level than just 3D. And, it just radiates from him in these interviews. So I don't know what you think of Lilu, but Jacob Liberman is well worth a listen. Okay. How do you look at life? Is it something you're trying to run away from? Do you think it's terrible and mean and nasty and awful, all the things going on? If so, take a step back. Or in, or up. Take your pick. Look again. Everyone has heart vision. Everyone has eyes of heart. But it's a matter of free will and choice to access them or that. I can sit up here and tell you all day that it's possible to look at life in such a way as to fall in love with every bit of it, even the tough stuff. But that's meaningless as long as we're hearing from the brain, from mind, Mine doesn't grok this. It's such a superficial level of you. It's so not who you are. Oh well, be right back. Okay, that was Ken. I had a call into him to confirm my intuition around Cuddles, and he did. Cuddles is no longer with us in the physical. Okay, so even the tough stuff we can fall in love with. Be in heart. Get out of your freaking head. You have spent the better part of your life there. Is it worth it? Is it fun? You know? You find peace there? Find your own way to go within. Even just, what's his name? Eckhart Tolle almost called him Edgar Casey. Sensing your hands. Following your breathing. Find your own way. Now, while it's easy enough to celebrate the fun stuff, what about the tough stuff? Like this thing going on with Cuddles. How can I say that's good? That's beautiful, that's love. How can I embrace that? I don't know, let's find out. First, I don't need to tell you that if it's born, that means it's guaranteed to die. Things that are born die. We're not born. All right? Now, what died? Wasn't Cuddles. Are you there yet? Do you get that? It was the body that died and not the creature, not the being, not the essence. The kitty is still here. Tune in. He's big and black and white and fat. Tune in. Well, his body was, and so, you know, for a while after we cross, we tend to still bear the image of the body. It's our self-sensing, unless we can get rid of that before we cross, for which I don't know how kitties would do that. So anyway, as I look at my life with Cuddles, his life with me, there were some very standout things. One of which I initially took to be, and it may yet be, a real level of immaturity. I mean, this guy thought only of himself. And if he wanted the seat and Moonlight was there, he felt fine being very nasty about that and clearing her out. And he just didn't care. You know? So there was that. As I got to know him better, I began to see a very intense self-confidence. Now, this is something that this personality lacks. Not me, not who I am, but this particular soul personality, for whatever the reasons are, and I'm really unconcerned, it doesn't matter, it just is what it is. And they will be revealed as the time is right. But for whatever the reasons are, I needed a teacher in self-confidence, and so Source sent me one. He would come up here and plot down whenever and wherever and just absolutely expect to be petted. And let me tell you, as soon as your hand stopped scratching or petting him just the way he wanted, he was gone. Very unusual in my experience with cats. So he was amazingly self-confident, and he was my teacher in that. And I saw this before he left. I'm really glad that I did. We never know how long we're going to have with someone, with whatever the relationship is, be it with a pet, a mate, a friend, the body we wear. Well, we don't really wear it, we contain it, but anyway. things in 3D, as we know, come and go. That's just how it is. That's just what they do. And it's really silly to kick against it. So when I view things from heart, what I find is that I'm not kicking against things. And when we're not resisting, trying to change things, wishing things weren't the way they are, wishing we weren't where we are or who we are or whatever, when we're not in that mode, which is very mental, things look different. Very different. Everything is a caress. Even the death of the cat. It's not that the death is the caress so much as the whole totality of the relationship is unutterably beautiful. Can we see this way? It may be easier to do with a pet or an acquaintance than with someone really, really close to us. But it works no matter what. There's nothing in life we can't look at and fall in love with that. Even a 9/11. Even though. Okay? Look at the beauty of those souls. Do you think they didn't know that that was their future when they came in? I mean, we forget for a time so that we can live it out. It's the journey, you know. It's not some kind of endpoint we're headed for. It's the journey itself that is the point. These beautiful souls came in knowing they would be leaving like that, knowing it would tear America and the world apart, knowing it would stop us in our tracks, slow us down, make us ponder, make us cry, make us maybe face some feelings, thoughts, ideas, maybe illumine the matrix for us that much more. We don't die. Do you know this? If you don't, you're in head because your heart knows this. You can't die. You've never died, you never will. I've come to the point where I don't think there's a beginning. I think that's all just a myth. There's no beginning and there's no end. It's linear thinking that requires a beginning and an end. Can you see that? At least that's how I'm seeing for now. And I make no promises that I've got a teaching and that it's going to stay steady. I will disagree with myself quite freely. Everything's always changing. Why shouldn't we be? It doesn't make sense to get stuck in a rut. And it's not any fun. So how about looking at life from a whole new perspective? Now, when we're in now, or in heart, or centered, or whatever we call it, there's no time. And so every moment is new and fresh and innocent and unlived. There's not another being, not only on the earth, not only in the galaxy or the universe, there's not another being in all of cosmos that is who you are, that radiates as you do, that sees from your particular perspective. And your perspective can be as multidimensional as you like. You are that. It's choices. It's all these choices that we're making. Do you see? Based on our choices, we come up with, we could call it a belief garden, or we could call it belief systems, i.e. BS. You know, at some point we'll see through them all. Just like science does every 20 or so years or whatever, you know, whatever the thing is today that everybody's supposed to believe because it's the truth and it's scientifically proven and all that. Well, give it 20 years, you know? It doesn't, it's nonsense. The journey, it's an isness, it's a verb, no nouns, just verbs. Being. And we get to choose our perspective from heart. I guess we get to choose it mentally too, but I grew tired of that. It didn't lead where I'm going, where I'm coming from, where I am, whatever, okay? I can't say I know who and what I am. But what we can know is what we're not. How do they say, netty netty? Not this, not that. Joy is here for you. But joy has no part of mind. Mind can have fun. Mind can enjoy. But joy, as in with the capital J, that's a hard thing. And it's only everywhere. Source is only conversing with you in every one and everything, in every sound, in every thought, in every idea, in every conversation, in every phone call, in every video, in every book, in every word, in every. Are you home? You have to be in heart when the call comes. When the still small voice speaks, the head is too noisy. All that hamster wheeling going on. And that's fine. Just, you know, don't let it lead the way. That's all. Don't let it lead the way. You know, I love you all so much. Only there's no I and there's no you. And so lovingness is. Loving is. It's like I tend more to say, instead of thank you, just gratitude is. In other words, you know, gratitude is this heart's response to whatever, literally to whatever. I will get to the point, well, let me do it now, to be thankful for Cuddle's passing. To be grateful for that. It's only perfect because it's only what is. You can have a love affair with what is. I don't care what it is, you can embrace it. That doesn't mean anything is ever meant to be steady or stable. It's a river, it's always moving. You know, if you're in an abusive situation, loving what is doesn't mean sticking around for endless abuse. Mind. It's a mind thing. When you're looking at something and it doesn't feel right, chances are good you're in mind. Slip down into heart, look at that exact same thing again. And the shift is amazing. And you can make this shift anytime. You are empowered to do this. It won't be long. I'm waking up to it already. We are all little g gods. And perfection is. Sing the song of your soul, whatever it is. That's perfect. I wish I could give it to you, my friends. But then again, perfection is. If you give a child walking, he doesn't learn and strengthen himself in his efforts. It's not that we have anything to learn or to develop. It's to be uncovered. It's to be exposed. It's to be brought into the light. It's to be seen. And this seeing is something that we must do for the self. Now, another thing about loving life is allowing it to be as it is. Recognizing that there is free will in the world. And just sticking to yourself, making your choice to live in integrity, true to the moment and to yourself, is what will shift our reality sooner than anything else. Prove it to yourself. The outside is a reflection of what is within. As we each tend to what is within, the outside shifts and changes. It's the swiftest way. We don't need to mind anyone else's business but our own. We are not empowered to change someone else. That's not what this is about. It's about falling in love with the self. It takes a certain amount of effort. We have been programmed to do anything but. So, put on your gardening gloves and get to work. You're in charge of your garden. You're in charge of your beliefs. Maybe it's just a matter of recognizing that beliefs are the tools Spirit uses to craft a reality. Yours. Other people's beliefs don't have an effect on you unless you choose to believe them and give that much of your power away to that. There's nothing to fight. There's no fighting at all. It's going whatever direction you choose. It's just choices, and you get to make them all. Which isn't to say they're easily done or undone, but they're still yours. Take ownership. Let's all take ownership, my friends, of our very own life. And at least be open to the reality that there's this thing that I'm calling heart vision. Call it what you like. It doesn't matter. It's entirely possible to hear Source in everything and to be thoroughly in love with life. And as you reach out and caress the cheek of a child, pet your dog, look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, your loving Source. Be love. It's what you really are. At your core, at your essence. Find your way there. When you do, we'll meet up. See you again soon.